Tony D and Little Joan with your news blast on YouTube. Uh-oh. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books. Links in the description. Comedy Horror in South Jersey. It's the Pineys. Books 1 through 10. Available at Amazon.com. Don't forget Kindle. Unlimited is free. Am I still on? So I'm going to try to do the news blast here on YouTube. So it will be heavily edited, no doubt. I will have to confine myself from certain spicier comments that I'm free to make on other platforms. Because I did a video about the CDC's guidelines on LGBTQ today, and there was no way I could put that one up here. So we're for those of you who haven't seen it, every day, right, Joan? Yeah, every day. We do the news blast. We just skim the headlines so you don't have to, is the rule of thumb. And I just make comments about the news. All right, YouTube. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot who knows nothing. There, you happy? You happy? Can you let me talk? Weirdos. Anyhow, so let's see what's going on. Huge breaking news. Kari Lake files appeal in lawsuit to overturn Maricopa County 2022 election. Gee, I don't know why. Our elections are so fair. It already started, Joan. You see that? You see what I did there? Bosnia will have its first female prime minister. Uh-oh. Is she going to be able to drive to the capital by herself? Who's going to cook the sandwiches for the leader of Bosnia? I don't know. I'm so screwed on this one. I'm so screwed on this video thing. BlackRock plots to buy the Ukraine. Yeah, that seems to be the way it's shaping up, isn't it? To turn it into the ESG capital of the world, I guess. I don't know. Can't even say it. You know who runs the Ukraine, or part of it anyway. I don't think they're going to be too cooperative, BlackRock. But you give it a shot. You just give it a shot. Kevin McCarthy floats concession on allowing conservatives to remove House Speaker. Well, that would be... I mean, I thought he was going to win anyway, so... Okay. So in other words, if he does a bad job, they knock him right out of there. Could incentivize him to not do a terrible job. Good. I think that would be an improvement. You know, assuming it wasn't this arduous process that took 5 years or some ridiculous amount of time. But let's see. The transcripts of Ray Epps were released from the January 6th thing. I'm not sure what I could say about that other than it's the greatest comedy show in town. How'd that work out for Liz Cheney? Ooh, not too good. Reports of police suicides. Oh my God. Explode in Chicago over week of Christmas. Oof. Oof. That is not good. For a whole lot of reasons, but I mean, yeah, I wouldn't want to be a cop in Chicago. No, sirree, Bob. I have a feeling that at some point they're going to have to send the National Guard into Chicago to secure it one day. And that's about all I could say about it. Damn it. This is really tough to do this on YouTube, censored. Let's see. Want to earn an A on that final exam, kids? Artificial intelligence bots got you covered. I could see that. I could see that being a thing. A lot of kids do take test over computer, especially during the time of a medical condition. Wouldn't be surprised. Biden claims Secret Service agent lied about attack by president's dog. Okay, I don't really care about Biden's dog, but it seems like at least the dog they had before was a little too crazy, which happens. Some dogs are just, they're either traumatized or they're just poorly trained. I mean, I think the whole dog thing is a complete astroturf. I think they got the dog specifically like, well, people like dogs, sir, so you should have a dog. I don't remember hearing about his dog while he was VP. So maybe he had one. Maybe he always had one. I kind of think he's rich, so he probably has everything, right? Probably has a boat he never goes to. So why not have a dog or 2 or 3 or 5? And then he just, oh yeah, bring one of the dogs. So, and then this whole thing about him tripping in the shower chasing his dog or something. Yeah, that doesn't ring true to me at all. Here are the 10 biggest baffled Biden blunders for 2022. Oh, YouTube, you'll love this. Or already, somebody in YouTube's got his finger over the cancel button right now going, let's see. All right. Oh, man, to highlight, why don't you bold the list? I got to do this quick, Red State. Number 10, Colombia, Cambodia. He mixed up Colombia and Cambodia in a speech. I mean, that seems relatively minor compared to the stuff he's mixed up in speeches before. Those Ron Burgundy moments are something else. Yeah, he had so many of them. I mean, you could make. They made a whole calendar for George W. Bush's gaffes. I mean, you could do a 10-year calendar easy for Biden. How many states was what? What's Paul Pelosi's name? And how he freaked out Kamala Harris. That was all in one go. Jeez. Here's Kamala Harris keeping him from falling off stage, I guess. Taking orders from the Easter Bunny. That probably should be the worst one. I mean, that was weird. That just optically looked so bad. But I assume the person in the Easter Bunny costume was told, like, keep them away from people. Math is hard. Let me start off with 2 words. Made in America. And then this one, the single word that describes America.
America is a nation that can be defined in a single word. I was going to excuse me.
Getting lost or shaking hands with thin air. That's probably the most disturbing one when you think about it. I mean, that he goes to shake hands with no one? Please, you voted for this guy? Biden sees dead people. Oh yeah, that was huge, huge faux pas there. He acknowledged a rep who just recently died in a car crash. And you can't say, well, he didn't know. He absolutely knew. He would have been alerted. He's the president. They would have alerted him first. Oh, my God, one of our representatives is dead. They totally would alert him because maybe they're killing off congressmen. They'd have to, he'd have to mobilize someone or whatever. They definitely have to send the FBI. When you're talking about a member of Congress dying under it wasn't suspicious circumstances, but she died in a car accident. I mean, it could be. You have to go check to make sure. Did he just fall asleep in the middle of an interview? Probably. I think he probably did. He's very old. And then, of course, the bike fall. I don't know why that would be on the top of the list. That seems pretty mild when you think about the rest of them. At least there you could say, well, he was on his day off. The reporters are hassling him. The thing is, he probably shouldn't be on a bike. He probably shouldn't be. He's old. Shouldn't be on that kind of bike. If he was just some retired accountant, he'd be on a 3-wheeled bike. Absolutely. But he's trying to look fit and virile. Because, let's see, what else? Man accused of tampering with voting machine during Colorado primary deemed incompetent to stand trial. Well, that's convenient for certain parties. Persecution. Socialists intend to arrest Brazilian president for warning about, I guess I could say this, certain vaccines risk after Bolsonaro did that. That's about all I could say about that. You know me, I would have many things to say about that. The Federalist lists 10 times Biden brain failed during 2020. Only 10? I don't want to do another list. All right, moving on to Louder with Crowder. I will beat you up and I'll leave. Crazed woman wasn't loving it at McDonald's, so she made her own Big Mac. Yeah, that's unacceptable, lady. First off, we don't know how clean you are. Number one. Number two, why are you in a bra? What state are you in? It's got to be Florida, right? Hot enough that I guess you could be dressed like that. I hope she was arrested. Let's see if she was. She should be arrested. That's Oh, an Australian woman. Oh, that was Australia. Well, then it is very hot there. The law caught up with her and she was removed from the premises. She's Burger King's problem now. It's funny. Elon Musk embraces his own inner edgelord as he points out how creepy Anthony Fauci is. Nice. Our favorite Waffle House employee, the chick with the chair, shares her version of events, and it's glorious. Ooh, I might have to watch that. Okay, moving on to Real Clear Politics, some serious headlines, I assume. Fauci leaves a broken agency for his successor from Newsweek. Newsweek says that about Fauci. Wow. Wow. How the GOP learned to hate the FBI, finally, from The Nation. The Twitter files cherry-picking the larger story from Matt Taibbi. I have to see that one too. Follow the libs of TikTok founder despite cancer culture. New York Post. Let's see. Bunch of boring headlines here. Restoring American Capitalism from the City Journal. The year Hollywood truly lost the plot from Spiked. Barbara Walters always wanted more and always got it from USA Today. I don't know about that. Honest journalism for the thinking public, Real Clear Foundation. Over at Zero Hedge. Most popular articles of the past year and a look ahead. Russian military says victory inevitable in New Year's message. Hard to tell from here, but got to think the Russians will eventually take it. Again, they should just cut a deal. Stop getting people killed. For what? For an area of the world the Russians control anyway. It's like getting killed over northern Mexico. We would control that, right? If the Chinese, I don't know, funded a bunch of insurgents in Mexico so we wouldn't take it over. Even if they took it over, we'd still control it. It's right across the border. Elon Musk calls out corporate journalism over twisted coverage of his Twitter files. Good on Elon. Here's the 28-year-old charged in the killing of 4 Idaho college students. A list of Biden tax hikes, which takes place January 1st. Ready to get depressed? 6.5 billion natural gas tax. Great. Thanks, Joe Biden. 12 billion crude oil tax. Great. Thanks, Joe Biden. 1.2 billion coal tax. 74 billion stock tax. Great. Hits 401ks, IRAs, and pension funds. No, the only person that gets that money are the Bidens, apparently. Oh, they got plenty of money. Don't you worry about them. 225 billion corporate income tax hike, which will be passed to households, of course. Jesus. And don't forget, the IRS can clock every $600 you have it in PayPal, I guess. I don't know. Did that go through? Maybe that didn't go through yet. Still, I got the notice. Oh, you made over $600. So guess what? You're required to report it. First off, I report things, okay? So F you. Secondly, that the Biden administration thinks they can keep track of every $600 deposit in every human being in their country, but can't audit the Pentagon, tells you something, right? Oh, can't audit it's too complicated to audit the Pentagon. Oh, what about every single person in the United States? Oh, that's easy. Yeah, you people pay. Dad of slain Idaho student sees link between daughter and suspect. I don't know. Maybe he hit on her at a bar or something, followed her home. Who knows? Joe Biden fumed over White House reminders of Donald Trump new book reveals. You know, he's so out to lunch. Who knows? Who knows what's true? A.G. James, this woman from New York, probe of liar Santos faces conflict of interest over cash from his Dem opponent. No surprise there. Kathy Griffin reunites Andy Cohen feud in time for the new year. Oh, are you jealous, Kathy? You can't be on New Year's anymore. You did it to yourself. That was a step too far. Holding the bloody severed head of the president, any president, would be illegal. That is illegal. Do I agree with that as a libertarian? You know, context matters. I mean, I think it was stupid, any way you slice it, and too extreme. I think she would have gotten fired anyway, even if it wasn't illegal. So, I think I would have fired her had it been legal. I would have said, no, too much. You've ruined the image of our show. I don't want our show associated with that. Too much. Too much. It's one thing to say outrageous things if you're a stand-up comic. You know, outrageous. And then it's another thing to just say a bunch of mean things and go, ha, 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 I'm just kidding. More stuff about Barbara Walters. Paul McCartney is sad. All the people she interviewed. Teresa Gudis, 50, shows off her curves. She's not looking bad for 50. That's not bad. That you could get into a bikini at all in 50, that's pretty good. And not look, you know, look, she's 50. That's still pretty good for 50. I mean, it's not Elizabeth Hurley level, but that's you're not too bad. Not too shabby. This is what I do. This is what I do on the news. I make comments. You don't like it? I don't care. Naked and Afraid, shocking scene in the Bronx station as naked man falls off elevated tracks. I don't know why you would be on the tracks naked. This is New York. I got invited to a dinner in New York, and I just said no. I don't want to go to New York. This is one of the reasons. I keep reading these headlines. I don't want to. And the odds are I would have been fine. The people who went were fine, but like, I don't care. I don't. If God forbid my premonition came true, I don't want to deal with that. It's not even that I'm afraid. I just don't want the hassle. It's not worth it to me. There's already a hassle just to go into the city. It's expensive. Here I am. Like, it's not worth it to me. Like, 30 years ago, it was worth going to New York. There were restaurants and things in New York that weren't anywhere in the country. Now they're everywhere. If I want to go to a fancy restaurant, there are plenty of places in New Jersey. I don't have to cross the state line. Don't have to cross the state line. Same thing with movies, plays, everything. There's not a single thing I can't get in New Jersey right now. Go all the way to New York? For what? To pay, God knows, oh my God, the tolls alone are ridiculous now. Screw that. Bunch of crime, horrible, depressing crime. Benedict XVI, dead at 95. For those of you who are Catholic, might mean something. Oh, here's one. I almost did this for Hollywoke hot take. So let's take a look at this. I probably should have done this as a separate video. Democratic socialists push members to recruit family during the holidays. This holiday season, many of us are talking to people close to us who see the world differently, namely our family members. Here are some tips about how to talk to your relatives about socialism and bring them into the DSA, compiled by our members. Can you imagine? Here's how to get people and make stupid decisions. Let's see. Next time you want to sympathize and agitate, not argue. What? Next time you want to sympathize and agitate, not argue. Find your common ground and build from there. Agitating is kind of arguing. You're going to agitate me. I don't even want to be around you. Avoid words like capital, ruling class, and even socialism at first. Oh, so lie. So be sneaky about it. I'm talking about the weather. How's the weather? Oh, I think the weather's pretty good. Well, you're a socialist. And you should be. Like, what? Focus on the concepts behind the words and how they Reflect in real material conditions. Don't be afraid to share. How do your problems relate to theirs? Remind them they are not alone. This is our struggle. Yeah, these are people, they are clueless, I think. Tactics include creating a shared vision for a better world, one where people had the power, like AOC. Dopiest person in Congress. Once a member feels like they're close to locking up the target, DSA suggests showing them we're fighting for a better world, a socialist world. You know, until the rich people's money run out, we kill each other and eat the zoo animals. They should be ashamed of themselves for sending something like this during the holiday season, said Kagan, a former Democrat, who switched to Republican last month because he felt the Democratic Party was shifting too left. Yeah, keep it up, DSA. Keep it up. First, you need to develop. It might take some time to build up to the S word. So take the long view to brainwash your relatives, everyone. First, you need to develop a shared analysis of different issues, working conditions, potholes. Yeah, you know, the socialists, they're so great at filling potholes with dead bodies. Insulin prices, abortion care. Nah, it should just be abortion. Student debt. Oh, yeah, you know, socialists get a great education. In socialist countries, being addicted to our smartphones, says the socialist, and how they all relate to the crisis of capitalism. Look at the picture. The basket of money, down, down, down. Who is this? Her doctor? She's going to try to recruit her doctor? First, which of your family members is most ready to speak truth to power? Who is fed up with the way the system is set up and running into frustrations living in a capitalist world? Identify the relatives you're most likely to engage and listen. The picture. The DSA. What an absolute clown car they are. Good luck, DSA. No, not good luck. Just shut up. Ooh. Glam Slam. TikToker defends her workouts in full makeup and trendy outfits. I assume that's her whole damn channel. So we can watch her butt and her boobs jiggle around as she moves weights. I assume that's what it's for. Meet the American who saved the champagne industry. He looks like an old timer. Valentine Riley, 19th century Missouri scientist. There's two words you don't hear in a sentence very often. Sorry, Missouri. Central Intelligence. U.S. helped Ukraine target Russian generals, sink key warship, according to a new book. I assume every victory the Ukrainians have is really ours. So I assume there's a bunch of failures we'll never hear about. Oh, we got 40 Ukrainian soldiers killed. Well, that didn't work. Let's try something else. Scotland police deflect blame after being blasted for a report describing, I don't know if I can say this on YouTube, bad people, very bad people with children, as minor attracted people. Yeah, no, they should be blasted. They should all be fired. Everybody connected to that fiasco should be fired in Scotland. They won't be. They'll probably be promoted because Scotland has turned into an absolute nightmare. Biden loses a golf ball while out with his teen grandson in U.S. Virgin Islands. Oh, I hope he's having a good vacation. Who the F cares, dude? The whole country's falling apart. Oh, I'm in the Virgin Islands, though. Probably didn't even know where he is. Gee, when I get back, I'll have to talk to Barack about this. You're the president. You're the president, Grandpa. Keep telling you. Man allegedly stole car with 90-year-old inside. Well, did he take him to ice cream? Was it Joe Biden? Where are we going, Secret Service? Oh, no. All right, sports. I don't do sports. So moving on. PJ Media. West Coast, Mess Coast. The worst and best of 2022. Worst being the West Coast, apparently. Trump was right. Joe Biden destroyed the stock market. Looks that way. World Boxing Council, if you didn't hear this one, creates transgender category, immediately denounced as transphobic. It's exactly what they should do for every sport, I think. It seems like the most fair solution. Everybody gets to be in a league. How much money Republicans pulled from BlackRock in 2022? Oh, that's no good. Let's see. Republican Florida Chief Financial Officer Jimmy Patronis announced on December 1st the state would divest $2 billion from BlackRock. But I assume plenty other Republican states, the Republican-led states pulled almost $4.5 billion from investing in BlackRock, so that's something. Got to get out of BlackRock, I think. In the end, it's going to hurt them, but there's no other choice. All right, these look like old headlines or stuff we talked about. Moving on to the post-millennial. Oh, wait, I skipped Daily Wire. Stocks had their worst year since 2008 after Biden boasted about their performance, of course. Controversial fast food minimum wage law placed on hold. Yeah, that should give us enough time to replace everybody with robots at McDonald's. Nice going, California, once again. CDC promotes new tool to increase schools' acceptance of gender ideology. I did a separate video on that, by the way, which is why I'm doing this on YouTube. To remind you. All right, post-millennial. Talked about that one. Jeremy over at the recording is doing stuff about the Idaho massacre. He denies murders, says police... Wait, Idaho massacre suspect to deny murders. Police say he acted alone. Zelensky increases censorship on news, media, in democratic Ukraine. Yeah, it's an S show over there. What did you think? He'd usher in freedom, you idiots who support Ukraine. Activists claim queerness is radical identity and has nothing to do with homosexuality. Okay, yeah, let's completely disconnect words from their meanings and see how that goes. I can't even talk about this one. There's an article. I'll just read the headline. Texas Supreme Court rules against father seeking to prevent chemical castration of his son. It's awful. You got to read it if you want to be depressed. U.S. faces pilot shortage as Biden's transit secretary focuses on racial quotas for the skies. Gee, I wonder why you can't find enough pilots. Racial quotas are wrong, in my view. Some of these I just can't even read. Moving on to Breitbart, Pope Benedict, dead. Longtime TV journalist Barbara Walters, dead. Home Depot co-founder Bernie Marcus blames socialism for lazy, fat, stupid labor force. Jeez, that's pretty rough. What's it like working for him? Growing number of Republicans vow to only vote for McCarthy in speaker race. McCarthy, first thing we're going to do is repeal the 87,000 IRS agents. Well, that would be a huge win. I'd be pretty happy with that. The 9 times Mitch McConnell worked against conservatives in 2022. Only 9? You're only going to do 9? Yeah, I pretty much know. I'm going to pass. Finally, at Summit News, researcher reveals Google Home speakers could have been hijacked and turned into wiretaps. No surprise there. You have to understand the technology. How is Alexa going to recognize you and ask your commands, or the Google thing, or whatever? How are they going to answer your commands if they're not constantly listening for them? So if the thing's constantly listening to you, it's just a matter of hacking it. It's just a matter of getting it in. Saying, oh, okay, turn this on. Are you going to know? If you could do that, I'm sure you could keep the light off and listen. I think that's already established. It could be done with the smartphones. I think that was already well established. So I wouldn't have one of these things. I mean, I got a smartphone, but I need the damn phone. This I don't need. I can go to the internet myself and look something up. I'm not so lazy. I go, oh, Alexa, where's the Jersey Devil born? WEF plans to issue guardrails on metaverse creation. I guess. Why are they getting involved with the metaverse? Okay, yeah, get involved with that. Go ahead. You guys in Zuckerberg, do whatever you do. And PJW, another video I saw yesterday. Pretty good. All right, let's end on a laugh, as I often do, by reading some headlines at the Babylon Bee, which I say is the new onion. Pope Francis announces the passing of the final Catholic Pope. Get it? That's pretty good. 9 times essential oils were used in the Bible. I don't know. The religious ones aren't as good to me, but I'll take a look. Dad slaps Grinch $20 to come take the drum set. Oh, slips Grinch $20 to come take the drum set. That's pretty funny. Op-ed, the racist roots of sleep. It's just a matter of time. Just a matter of time before that one becomes real. All right, let's see. The 9 times essential oils were used in the Bible. All right, I'm probably not going to get these. Number 1, after being thrown out of paradise, Eve used jasmine oil to calm down. Okay, that one I got. That's pretty funny. Number 2, Jacob prepared to wrestle the angel with a nice dose of Aramis. 3, Job endured the immense suffering the immense suffering of spraying oregano oil in his eye. Okay. 4, the prophets of Baal oiled their altar with eucalyptus blend. 5, Absalom used cedarwood oil to keep his hair healthy while campaigning to dethrone King David. King Eglon used grapefruit essential oil to help with weight loss. The Pharisees became outraged when they realized the woman anointing Jesus' feet had used the last of the peppermint oil. I kind of get that one. 8, John beat Peter in a race right after rubbing lemon and citrus on his feet. And 9, Solomon used a blend of patchouli, sandalwood, and vetiver while writing Song of Songs. I don't know. Is somebody at the Babylon Bee's wife selling essential oils? Is that it? Okay. Well, it's the holidays. We'll let this one slide. Anyhow, that's it for me, Tony D, and Little Joan. Check us out on all our various links. Well, this is not Odysee, Bitchute, and Rumble. Am I going to get flagged for this one? I don't know. We'll see. And I hope to see you tomorrow at the live stream at 7, and we'll see you.